Have you struggled with financing a loved one with a disability or mental illness? Then this episode is for you. Mahendan will talk about a few of those today in our episode.
Sometimes money is a real big deal. Okay. And so let's talk about like what the money is geared for. Is the money geared for like, okay, I need a place to live. I need some basic like, food and resources right now. Right. So one of the resources I would advocate for is ODSP, Ontario. So basically, this is an Ontario-based program, but the other Canadian provinces have a similar setup where it's geared towards financing, providing financial aid and housing to certain individuals. So that's one aspect of money. Another aspect could be, okay, something that we all need. We need retirement. Right?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to retire at some point. How does that person get enough money to retire on? So then this is another government program where it's like RDSP, a Registered Disability Savings Plan. And this is similar to our conventional
RSPs.
RSPs. It's sort of like a merger between an RSP and an RESP, which is for educational purposes.
That's right.
And basically, this is the government just throwing you free money. Like, to be honest, even if you just opened it and just let it sit there, the government will pitch in money every so often, every year.
How so? Like they just contribute a certain percentage, or?
So it's broken up into two different sections. One is just free money, like literally just having the account open, they will hand you money just for having that account open.
Okay.
And another one is a dollar matching program where if you put up to a certain amount based on your family's finances, then they will match either 3-to-1, 2-to-1, 1-to-1 to your account up to a certain max for that year. So this is something that you can look into, that I've talked about on my blog.
Yeah.
And that you can go in and look at in more depth to understand how this works.
That's
and then
great.
There's other stuff where it's like, okay, we got our basics, we got our retirement, now let's try to figure out something in between. So this is sort of like, I want a training program. I want to, I'm going to work, but I need like certain supplies to make that work.
Right.
And this is where the passport program comes in. So not to be mistaken for immigration or anything, this is actually just a program where you can get reimbursed for certain things. So like, if I did like a vocational training program for people with for learning disabilities, they can go here, get trained, and then go into the workforce. And then it also helps them sort of get matched up with different work employments. So that is another way, because some of these programs, like you were saying, they're expensive. They're like, any kind of training program like that can run you up to like a couple $1,000. But if you get passport funding, or if you're approved for that, they will grant you, what is it, about 5,000 per season. So like every 4 months.
Okay.
And that basically you're allowed to use, and you can use it however you see fit.
Really?
Within like their guidelines. So basically, is it a training program? Is it something that's going to help you move into sort of like employment or to those sort of aspects, right? And then there's just, so like these are different types of financing you can get, but all of this kind of depends on where you are in your journey in life, right? And this is all of this is just specifically for adults that I'm talking about. There's also a whole host of different things for children or people who are seniors. Like that's the thing about all these programs, like not only knowing what you need, but also knowing what you have. So
that's right.
For instance, my brother has a learning disability, which is different than his schizophrenia, which seems similar but isn't. And because of that, he gets access to different programs because he has a dual diagnosis. So what is it? DSO, Development Services Ontario, is specific to people who have developmental issues. So for this, my brother's learning disability is a developmental issue, and thus it will help him. If he only had schizophrenia, he would not be going to that organization.
I see.
Even understanding how old you are, like school-wise, as a child going through that, talking to your schools, counselors. There are programs specific to your age group. And as soon as you turn 18, there's a whole different set, and you no longer qualify for things that you were previously getting. So that's another aspect of finding help, is also knowing which help goes to which person.
That's the problem, exactly. Because just to even break it down in the first place, like we're just completely clueless. Like, where do we go? It's like my big question is like, how do we deal with our finance? But like your answer was like, wow, because you're gonna have to figure this out and then this out and this out, and then it branches off to all the different things that you can do, right? So it's great that you have different blog posts that you talk about the different programs available, so then our audience can go find the details if they like to, right?
Find multiple organizations that I've linked to as well, like the DSO, DSP. There's Access Point, and then also finding out how best to get different medical practitioners going, either talking to your GP and having referrals. There are other assessment programs you can get.
Right.
And there's some things that you don't even get access to until you get an assessment that proves, oh, you have this disability.
Yeah.
It's so wild how far down the rabbit hole you have to go to before you get it. And then there's, on top of that, a lot of these are government services. So that means when we have a change of government, passport funding may go away.
Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed the video and found it really useful, because if it wasn't for Mahendan's blog Challenge the Challenge, I wouldn't have figured out all the ways that you can get assistance. Make sure you check out his blog, which will be in the links below, and the specific articles that speaks to the different programs available in Ontario will also be linked below. Make sure you subscribe to the video if you enjoy content like this, and make sure you comment below to tell us what kind of other topics you'd like us to cover. Until next time, dare to be authentic. Join our community at Unconventional Asians on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to hear more.